Thank you for joining me here. The time is now 2:58 p.m. Central, 1:58 p.m. Mountain, and you have a live look at a very large hailstorm currently south of Rapid City, South Dakota. This hailstorm is moving off to the south and the east towards Hermosa. This is going to be a very large hailstorm, once again, capable of producing hail up to lime size. We've already gotten reports of golf ball sized hail from the Rockerville Fire Department, so we have got to really look out. So if you're included in this severe thunderstorm warning, you need to move indoors and away from windows immediately. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for north central Custer and south central Pennington counties. So that's something to look out for. And then we've also got ourselves a severe thunderstorm all the way into New York State to watch out for. This is a severe thunderstorm warning going out for Oswego. This is for portions of northern Wayne, Cayuga, and southwestern Oswego counties in New York here. This storm is going to be just kind of a typical round of severe storms here, all right? We got a couple of bands here that could produce some 60-mile-an-hour winds and maybe some quarter-sized hail. So if you're in that area, make sure you're getting indoors as well, but no other precautionary measures are needed. So let's go back here to South Dakota to take another look at our hailstorm here. Again, you can see a very large signature there. If we take a look at the vertically integrated liquid, I mean, it is maxed out over a pretty large swath here. And again, the worst of that hail really didn't even fall near Rockerville, all right? It kind of stayed off to the north of Rockerville. So at worst, again, we could be seeing up to lime, maybe even up to tennis ball sized hail with this storm, as it looks even more impressive now than it did whenever it got that golf ball sized hail report. So please, 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 again, if you're included in this warning, make sure you are getting indoors and away from windows ASAP, all right? This storm's going to be crossing Highway 79. If you're traveling along Highway 79, but in between Rapid City and Hermosa, I would recommend getting off. It is about to get very windy, and again, you're also going to get punched with a big core of hail here, it looks like, within the next couple of minutes if you're traveling along there as well. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up stream chat. If anybody has any questions about the location, feel free to leave those down below. I'll try to answer them accurately and honestly. But yeah, I mean, it's just another day of severe weather coverage, because the 2024 severe weather season does not stop, all right? We've got ourselves a slight risk today. This is a slight risk of severe weather going out for a good chunk of the central plains here, kind of northwest Kansas, northeast Colorado, western Nebraska, and southwestern South Dakota here. This is driven mostly by a damaging wind threat. We could see some damaging winds of 60 to 65 miles per hour, and maybe even a brief tornado or two as well, right? We've got ourselves a 2% risk going throughout portions of the plains, and then the hail threat is also there as a 15% risk, so look out for that. By the way, 71 mile per hour wind gusts did come out of areas to the northwest of Castle Rock, it looks like a couple of hours ago, apparently. I did not even realize that, but apparently we did have a storm producing some 70 to 75 mile per hour wind gusts up there. So, again, some of these storms actually could be pretty dangerous today. Again, severe thunderstorm watch now going out for southwestern South Dakota and northeastern Wyoming here, right? So we'll continue to watch these storms here as they evolve. Yes, this is south of Rapid City. But yeah, I mean, it has been a couple of days since I've been live. Luckily, the past couple of days haven't been extremely active, but I think today breaks that streak. I definitely think we're going to see some very damaging winds and some very large hail today, as we have already. And again, maybe even a tornado or two. If we were to see a tornado, it would be back to the south of this area, though. It would be kind of in this corridor here of kind of northeast Colorado, southeast Wyoming, and maybe the panhandle of Nebraska. It would be a very, very brief time frame here in a very small area that would see that enhanced tornado threat. I'm kind of surprised they threw out the 2% risk at all, but they did. And if we go ahead and take a look here at our composite reflectivity, we can see that we do expect to see some of these supercells here continue to fire off over the next couple of hours. And again, any of these that do become discrete enough and manage to take advantage of this severe weather primed environment, we definitely could see a couple of tornadoes out of those. School starts for Wednesday on Wednesday for you. School starts on Tuesday for me. So yeah, that's another thing. Whenever school starts, probably going to have a significantly less amount of streams than we have this summer. I'm still going to try to go live as much as possible whenever necessary, but still, again, just keep in mind, if I'm not live, Probably either I'm at school or there's just nothing to worry about. But yeah, again, the time frame for tornadoes today would kind of be 4 to 6 p.m. maybe. Again, kind of in this general region, we could see a brief tornado or two, maybe a landspat or something. That would be the main threat to look out for there. NATOcast does actually have a 2% tornado risk going out for portions of just a very, very small area of northeastern Colorado. Let me go ahead and get that up on your screen here. So, screen mirror. There we go. So again, NATOcast with the extremely small 2% risk going out for portions of northeastern Colorado there. Again, kind of that corridor where we'd be watching there for maybe a brief tornado or two, kind of in the quad state region of Wyoming, Nebraska, Colorado, and Kansas. I think tornadoes anywhere else would be extremely unlikely. There we go. You may notice that we do have a 0.1% splotch right along the Kansas 2% risk line. And while we're definitely not going to see any tornadoes out there, it is worth noting that we do actually have some thunderstorms rolling through this area, so that would be something to look out for, but mostly just a gusty wind and maybe a flooding rain threat, right? I don't think we're actually going to see any severe weather out of that. So we do have a severe thunderstorm warning now southeast of Charlotte, North Carolina. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for Monroe, and let's see here, Wingate. This is for 60-mile-an-hour damaging wind gusts and penny-sized hail. Let's look out for that. Again, this is for eastern Union County. The storm really doesn't even look like it's producing any sort of, heavy rainfall at all, honestly. But that could be maybe mountains out here, but it's not a super mountainous region. I mean, there's hills and stuff, so it's interesting. So this actually is a pretty low precip severe thunderstorm, but again, damaging winds are the main threat, so even if you don't get too much rain, that would still be the thing to look out for. We could actually probably see that here. What way is this camera facing? Evidently not the right way. Let's see here. What about if we look from the stadium? Now, I can't really see anything, it just looks like a cloudy day, or a partly cloudy day. But there's definitely a storm in there somewhere. So let's go back here to our Rapid City storm. Again, currently the main thing to look out for would be hail up to lime size. But yeah, I mean, we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning now all the way into California. This is for kind of the San Diego region, it looks like. This would be in between LA and San Diego, out in desert land here. Got ourselves a severe thunderstorm warning, 60-mile-an-hour winds and nickel-sized hail. This storm is drifting to the west. That's a weird way to say it. Additional thunderstorms are likely to develop between the current activity. So if you're in that area, make sure you're getting indoors. Again, I know you can't see anything there on the radar, but that's just because of all the mountains out here. But yeah, that's now a severe thunderstorm in Southern California, which obviously that's a pretty populated region, but luckily that specific part of Southern California shouldn't have too many people out there. The main thing I'd be looking out for is anybody traveling along Highway 79, 371, or 74. Model's been uncertain. My potential damaging wind threat at nighttime. Got yourself a damaging wind threat out there in Ireland. By the way, again, our storm just continues to look more and more impressive by the scan here near Hermosa. We've got ourselves a very large severe thunderstorm now. So if you're in Hermosa, I mean, most of the hail is going to stay off to the north of you, but man, is it going to be big. Again, it could be up to lime size, maybe even tennis ball sized hail there. So again, if you're in that area, you need to get indoors and away from windows, even if you're just in Hermosa. Again, this storm dropped golf ball sized hail in Rockerville, an area that on the radar it really didn't look like they saw too much hail. So, hail maybe too. Yeah, I mean, that's also kind of just what we're watching out for in the plains here. But yeah, I mean, again, it's not going to be like too serious of a stream today, but we do expect to see a few severe thunderstorms. And again, right now is the time frame where they should be getting going here, but nothing too impressive. You're going to be pulling an all-nighter for it? Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. But again, these storms are really just not firing. Like, they are popping up, but not nearly as intense as what the HRRR was saying. So, that could be a good sign. Like, look at this. 3 p.m. They were saying we would have, like, full-blown supercells trying to get going, and that's really just not happening. So, that's good. They're saying by 4 to 5 p.m., I mean, that'll be the most intense time frame. So if anything's going to happen, it would happen soon here, which is why we decided to go live. But, again, right now we're actually watching South Dakota for that slight risk of severe weather. And again, damaging winds and large hail will be the main threats, but across a small section of northeast Colorado, southeast Wyoming, southwest Nebraska, and maybe northwest Kansas, too. I wouldn't rule out, like, a landspout or something. The SPC, NATO CAS are kind of agreeing on that, and then also, I mean, it's just pretty clear if you look at, like, the different environmental features here that we could definitely see a couple of tornadoes. Again, we got decent Cape, a little bit of wind shear, so again, that's going to lead to, at the very least, some severe storms. Again, maybe storms that produce tornadoes. And there we go. New severe thunderstorm warning now for lime-sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds going out for eastern Custer, northwestern Oglala, and south-central Pennington counties in South Dakota. Again, right now watching Hermosa. But this really isn't that populated of a region. The severe thunderstorm watch going out for parts of South Dakota and one county in Wyoming does say hail up to lime size possible, scattered damaging winds to 70 miles an hour possible, and a tornado or two possible. Again, I think most of the tornadoes should stay south of this region, though, if we were to get any. And just in general, I don't think the tornado threat is super high today. But again, I wouldn't rule out one or two brief tornadoes. That's for certain. But yeah, I mean, again, if we look at the Cape out here, I mean, it's actually a pretty decent amount. Surface-based Cape. Bit of load. So, yeah, I mean, the surface-based Cape here, we do have a little bit. I guess I shouldn't say a plentiful amount, but we do have a little bit. A couple thousand joules per kilograms in spots. It's nothing crazy, but it is enough to get severe storms to fire. And again, maybe a tornado or two, but again, I'm just not so confident on that. Again, damaging winds would be the main thing. And then, I mean, this hailstorm, we really were not expecting something like this today, but we got it. Again, this is a pretty large hailstorm here. Again, it's already had reports of golf ball-sized hail, and again, now it looks even larger, so it's looking pretty intense here. Again, a maxed out vertically integrated liquid signature right over Hermosa, which is indicative of usually quarter-sized hail or larger there. And again, that would be falling over like a 4-mile swath here, 4.5-mile swath almost. So again, definitely a significant amount of hail with this storm here. That would be the main thing to watch out for. Damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour possible, but we shouldn't see too many impacts from that. So let's go back over to North Carolina. Again, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Union County. Again, it really doesn't look like it's going to even bring that much heavy rain, though. It would just be damaging winds to look out for. again, we can't really see that there. So let's go back to Lake Ontario, I believe this is. Oklahoma had a heck ton of flash flood warnings earlier. Yes, they certainly did. They also had a couple of house fires, actually, north of Oklahoma City due to some lightning strikes in the early morning. That was pretty significant. There was also a structure lit on fire due to a lightning strike all the way in North Carolina. So we do have a decent storm going here near Fulton, New York, and again, that's pushing eastward. They did just extend the severe thunderstorm warning out towards Hastings and Interstate 81, so again, if you're in this area, make sure you're getting indoors at the very least. Again, quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts. That'll be in effect for the next hour there. Okay, so we do actually have a 54-mile-per-hour wind gust recording out of a Rapid City storm. What's up, everybody? Again, if you're just now tuning in, we are watching some severe weather right now in the Central Plains. Good to see everybody tuning in. So let's go back over here to where our main development region should be today. Again, we're really not seeing anything. We do have this line of storms, but that would be a damaging wind threat, not a tornado threat. And there's not even a special weather statement for that anymore, so. And it shouldn't be anything too significant. And another interesting fact, we actually had multiple water spouts today over Lake Erie. It's interesting. We really didn't have any intense thunderstorm activity, but again, we got a couple of water spouts there to develop. You can see the water spout developed from this little bitty rain shower here. That's all it took. And even from a few days ago when we were getting those, damaging winds and strong tornadoes in the Cleveland area, we still have tens of thousands of power outages across the Cleveland suburbs here because of that. So, again, hopefully things start to recover. Surprisingly enough, we don't have any outages in Florida. They recovered from Debbie actually quite quickly. I will say the Northeast has some outages after extreme flooding and some damaging winds ripped through. Seemed like there's somewhat of a decent environment with this storm I'm watching near Limerick, Ireland. Lots of lightning with those two cells. Okay. Yeah, I wish you luck. Just watch out. A small water spout outbreak, very true. So again, this storm's still producing some very large hail, most likely, near Hermosa, heading southeast. And that's approaching Folsom and Red Shirt in South Dakota. Interesting town name. Actually, it doesn't even look like a town. It looks like a little road. Yeah, it's just a little corner here. But we still do have some ongoing flash flooding. Pretty much any rain that falls at all right now in the Carolinas is going to lead to flash flooding, because obviously Debbie dumped feet of rain almost in spots. So, like, even these little pop-up thunderstorms out here, they are going to lead almost immediately to some flash flooding. Again, flash flood warning going out for portions of eastern North Carolina here. There was also a water spout in North Carolina today, which is interesting. That was near Bridgeton. Brief water spout reported, but lasted no longer than a minute. So, really nothing too significant or noteworthy. Yeah, we're just continuing to wait to see stuff try to fire off here in the plains if you're just not joining us. Again, this kind of storm isn't the thing we'd be watching for a tornado threat. It seems to be mostly outflow dominant. And then also this area is just not that favorable for tornadoes in general. Again, severe storms, definitely. I mean, we have one right now, but tornadoes, probably not. Again, most of the tornadoes, if we do get any today, would stay to the south of there. And again, I'm really not even sold on the tornado threat at all today. Again, I think if we saw something, it would be like a brief land spout, maybe in Colorado. Rapid City storm may have weak developing rotation. I don't think so. I think that's mostly contamination, but I mean it could. But again, even if it does develop significant rotation, I wouldn't expect it to produce a tornado because it did interact with that outflow boundary there. So again, I think it's mostly going to stay as a damaging wind, and especially a large hail threat. Again, that honestly, this hailstorm is what's keeping me alive right now. This is a pretty significant storm here. Again, it's had reports of golf ball-sized hail a little further west, and again, it could be even larger now. So again, lime to tennis ball-sized hail is what to expect with this storm. People and animals outdoors will be injured. Expect hail damage to roofs, siding, windows, and vehicles. Expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Prepare immediately for large hail and damaging winds. People outside should move indoors immediately to shelter inside a strong building. Stay away from windows. Again, this is a considerable severe thunderstorm warning, not a regular one. But again, we're expecting a couple of severe thunderstorm watch polygons probably to come out here over the next couple of hours across portions of the plains as well. But again, right now the only one we have is across parts of South Dakota. And then again, it includes this random county here in Wyoming, which really a lot of the activity should stay east of Wyoming. So it's a little interesting that they decided to include that, but obviously the Storm Prediction Center is going to do what they think is best. But yeah, I kind of see this now. The line of storms here did produce that 71 mile an hour wind gust. That would have been earlier this afternoon. And then we also had a 65 mile an hour wind gust into southeastern Montana. And honestly, this hailstorm here really doesn't even have that much lightning activity, it doesn't look like. But again, the hail is very significant. Again, this is probably going to be the biggest hailstorm we see today. So if any rotation developed, which it did, there's an outflow boundary. Storm is turning slightly outflow dominant, but a bit of inflow is returning. Yeah, again, though, I doubt it's going to make too much of a difference. I think we're probably not going to see any sort of tornado throughout that. The line of storms here in northeastern Colorado did just get a new special weather statement for Sterling for 50 mile per hour winds and half-inch hail. But again, this is also an outflow dominant line of storms here. And again, line of storms as well should tell you something. It's not going to be a tornado throughout that. But it will be a damaging wind threat and maybe some brief hail. But again, nothing significant likely on the hail front. It is growing. And again, that could lead to maybe a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings getting triggered here across portions of Colorado and wherever else this storm moves through. Likely northwest Kansas and southwest Nebraska. But shouldn't be anything too crazy. Definitely not something you guys haven't seen before out there. I mean, it's just one of these summertime severe, not even severe, one of these summertime pop-up sub-severe storms. A Tropic Talks video today? Probably not. I did one yesterday. And while obviously Invest 98L is significant and something we do need to discuss, it's actually unlikely that we see any sort of U.S. impacts. Now, if that changes, obviously I'll get a Tropic Talks video out immediately, but right now it's looking like, if anything, it would make some sort of landfall in like Nova Scotia, Atlantic Canada, and maybe eastern Maine. But again, we're expecting this thing to stay even further east than that. I mean, there's going to be a ridge of high pressure here, so we'll see. Yeah, the Colorado storm definitely, Kevin. There's nothing to give it that, boost of tornado potential. I mean, nothing is working for it here in terms of a tornado threat. Everything's working against it. There's only like 1,000 joules per kilogram of CAPE out here max. There is, again, it's an outflow dominant storm. The shear, it is there, but it's not much. It's just not in the best environment that it could be right now. In terms of it having a chance to produce a tornado. So our hailstorm here in South Dakota now downgraded to ping pong bowl sized hail, which I'm a little interested in why they did that, because this doesn't look any less impressive to me than whenever it was producing, up to lime sized hail. So again, ping pong bowl sized hail there. Okay, so this may be why. Apparently quarter sized hail was recently observed near Hermosa, and again, Hermosa didn't get the worst of it, but if this really was like a massive hailstorm, they probably would have gotten some bigger hail than quarter size, so this could be a sign of a downward trend of this storm here. But we'll continue to watch it. Again, hail is definitely still the main threat here, damaging winds as well, and again, a tornado, extremely unlikely with this storm. I mean, it's another one of those storms where everything is working against it in terms of a tornado threat, right? We're seeing it become outflow dominant. I mean, there's a little bit of inflow there, obviously. You can see a clear hook, but this area is just not favorable for tornadic production in general. So there you go. There's that quarter-sized hailstone out of Hermosa 14 minutes ago from a train spotter. That storm's going to ride Highway 40 here. Almost perfectly. Yeah, I do think that we'll see a tropical depression out of that soon. I don't think it'll take too long for it to become a tropical storm and even a hurricane either. If we look at the GFS model here, I didn't mean to have it on temperature, but actually temperature's a good thing to look at. I mean, look at this, guys. We're baking. It's ridiculous. The sea surface temperatures are literally baking right now. It's insane. We're seeing no change in that anytime soon either. Look at that. Literally on the sea surface temperatures, you can see that. That's awesome. Yes, I did see the tropical storm that is going to impact Japan here. Tropical Storm Maria. No, but look at this. This is awesome. You can see it so clearly. It's such a classic storm. Anyway, you can see the area it's going through is going to have extremely warm SSTs until it really gets far north there. I mean, SSTs are like what they usually are during peak hurricane season right now. And we're definitely not at peak hurricane season yet. Like, if we look here at the ocean analysis, let's look at the sea surface temperature anomalies. Look at this. It's not just the MDR, it's the entirety of the Atlantic right now being above average pretty much. And look at this. I mean, we are seeing spots with, up to 4 degrees above average in some of the areas that this storm will be traveling, which may not kill it super fast because of that whenever it reaches kind of the North Atlantic here, extreme Northern Atlantic portions of the Atlantic area. What am I saying? But the entire area it travels through is going to have, at the bare minimum, average SSTs. And during mid-August, I mean, the SSTs are always going to be baking. So especially whenever they're above average. That's going to be significant, obviously. Yeah, there is a good chance that it does impact Bermuda. Here's Bermuda. Look at this. We could see a direct Bermuda landfall, maybe even as a major hurricane out here. So we may see evacuation orders get in effect for that. I don't know, though. It's a possibility, but we can't say anything too sure yet, because again, it hasn't even developed yet, guys. We can't blow things out of proportion too much. Yeah, the Tropical Storm Maria is about 60 mile an hour sustained winds, I believe, when we just looked at it. Look at this. Southern plains are going to be baking over the next several days. Absolutely baking at that peak summer heat. And then the Midwest is going to be downright chilly. Look at this. I mean, we are going to be seeing spots in, the 50s. We really are. But, it's just interesting. It really is. Okay, so back up here to our hailstorm again. Still warned for ping pong ball-sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour damaging wind gusts. Again, we could see that hail threat continue here over the next couple of hours, so we'll continue to watch that storm. I don't see any signs of it stopping in terms of a hail threat, but again, I also don't expect it to develop any sort of tornado threat, obviously. And we kind of discussed why here already, so I'm not going to go over that again. Alright, so the new scan here, showing that inflow saying goodbye, and the hail threat even decreasing a little bit. So we honestly may see this get a downgrade again in terms of the hail threat soon, if that continues to weaken out just like that. It really did, Kevin. Yeah, fall is definitely in the air. No doubt about it. It's weird. It feels like the year's going really fast, but also at the same time, like, I'm ready for snow. It may just be because it's summer and I want snow, but I've officially decided my storm chasing name is Leprechaun Timmer. Okay, so, that's something that's never leaving my head now. Okay, so we do have a new wind gust report of, let's see here, 51 miles an hour, southeast of Rapid City. That is recorded by a Mesonet. Jolly good lightning. Bruh. So again, this storm will keep heading southeast here. It's going to parallel Highway 40 for a little bit. Not even parallel, just fully riding it. This storm really said life as a highway, and I'm going to ride it all night long. New flash flood warning for parts of North Carolina. Like I said, any rain out there right now is going to cause flash flooding pretty much. So that new one going out for parts of Interstate 40 near Burgaw and Watha, as well as Atkinson. So turn around, don't drown when you encounter flooded roadways. Again, I genuinely don't know how this still is a severe thunderstorm warning. And it's not like it looked that much more impressive than this whenever it was first warned. It really didn't. But alright, if you say so, NWS. Greenville, Spartanburg. Tuesday is a day that seems very sight what? Just a second. Slight risky. I mean, fair enough. I do kind of get that vibe. I don't know if it's just because you said that or something, but it does kind of feel like a slight risk kind of day. Tuesdays do. Again, right now the GFS saying that we'll see a major hurricane impact Bermuda sometime in the next couple of weeks. I don't know why they're continuing this. They continued this severe thunderstorm warning. What day feels like a high-risk day? And a new severe thunderstorm warning for parts of New York, by the way. This is for Clay. Holy crap, that's small. What is the... That makes... Oh! Oh, it's because of a different National Weather Service zone. Alright. Fair enough. I was gonna say, why do they not just push it into here? No, this is the same county. No. Is it? No, it's not. Okay. Monday feels like a high risk that performs. I don't know, I'm kind of thinking Friday. Monday and Friday are kind of polar opposites. And Wednesday definitely feels like a general thunderstorm risk day. Somebody tell me a significant severe weather outbreak that happened on a Wednesday. Somebody just like April 27, 2011. I'm trying to look now. It was a Wednesday! No! April 27th was a Wednesday. I just said, name one severe weather event that's ever happened on a Wednesday. Yeah, there you go. There's a high-risk Friday that performed. On Sunday be moderate. Fair enough. I think Thursday would probably be like an enhanced risk. Chat, what do you think? We're going to say Sunday. We'll say Sunday is moderate. Monday, we need to agree on Monday. Was 1974 outbreak also on a Wednesday? Holy crap. The two biggest super outbreaks in the past few decades were on a Wednesday. And I was like, name one severe weather event that's happened on a Wednesday, because I've never checked that. You mean a high risk that performs as in dreading school and having to go. Monday is slight. I don't know, Monday could be a marginal risk or an enhanced risk. Let's start a poll. Okay, I could only include so many options. And I didn't get high. Okay. Well, people are saying slight risk. Is Monday a slight risk? Chat, what is Monday? I feel like Monday would be a marginal risk. I can't decide though, so I'm gonna let you guys decide. Slight. Slight it is. You can't really read that. Hold on. We're just going to do slight as SLT, even though that's not the abbreviation that the SPC uses. Tuesday. We talked about Tuesday, didn't we? Tuesday slight. Okay. I just used two different abbreviations for slight, but it's fine. So Wednesday, we'll call it... What was it that I said? Oh, yeah, because I was saying nothing ever happens on Wednesday. You know what, we're just going based off the top of our heads here. We're not doing real, like, factual stuff. Wednesday just feels like a general thunder risk day. And then Thursday, did we talk about Thursday? I don't think we did. I think that's the one day we didn't talk about. Thursday feels like another No, I said Thursday was enhanced, didn't I? I think I did. Big brain. Then Friday, we gave it a high risk. And then Saturday we said... What did we say for Saturday? How do we not say Saturday? The best day of the week. I don't know. Why are we doing this? This is supposed to be a severe weather coverage stream. So let's check the SBC here. Let's see what's up. So mesoscale discussion remains in effect for a little bit longer here. They're talking about maybe issuing a severe thunderstorm watch for the main area where we would see a tornado today if we were to see one. Severe thunderstorm potential will gradually increase over the next few hours. A watch may eventually be needed. 40% chance of a severe thunderstorm watch between now and the next 35 minutes. I don't think that's going to get issued because these cells are just not performing like they're supposed to. So I doubt we're going to see a tornado, and I doubt they're going to issue that severe watch. Yeah, so the 1974 super outbreak was first place on the outbreak intensity scale, and April 27th, 2011 was second. Third was actually November 21st, 1992. Do I even know that outbreak? It says there were 0 EF5s, but crap, there were a ton of EF2s and F2s and F3s. That led to a pretty high score. Oh, wow, the Easter Sunday 2020 is in, let's see here, 5th place. So, the November 21st, 1992 outbreak. Looks like a Midwest/Deep South outbreak. Mississippi got slammed. North Carolina got slammed. Indiana got slammed. Severe thunderstorm warning now, by the way, for Sterling. $half size hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. Make sure you're moving indoors and away from windows immediately. Never mind. What was March 31st? Let me check. Let me find it. I don't know. Can you look at that? Or does it only go to 2022? Let's see here. So March 31st... really nowhere to be seen in the top list. Okay, so March 31st did get... Let's see here. What place is this? Okay, so March 31st got 18th place. With a score of... Oh, it doesn't tell you the score on Wikipedia. Yeah, that's because a lot of these other outbreaks were, multiple day outbreaks, right? I mean, some of these are like, 5, 6 day long outbreaks. March 31st was just March 31st. That was all it needed, and it was insane. Insane. By the way, this hailstorm looks pretty intense again, approaching red shirt. And you should still be indoors and away from windows. Yeah, Mississippi. So the outbreak that we had no idea what it was, that got like 5th place or something. November 21st, 1992 outbreak. There were 2 F4s in Mississippi. One of them extremely long tracking. That tracked across like 7 counties. Another one being decently long tracking. There were 2 F3s in Mississippi, and again, this is Mississippi alone. That's kind of wild. But yeah. There was a tornado that went near Rolling Fork that was an F1. And there we go. They did actually issue that severe thunderstorm watch, surprisingly, for northeastern Colorado, northwestern Kansas, and western Nebraska. The Storm Prediction Center has issued a severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 9 p.m. Mountain, 10 p.m. Central. Holy crap. That's a devastating outbreak on the scale, not historic. March 31st was? Okay. So primary threats include scattered large hail. This is the same exact one as the watch further to the north. Same exact details in terms of the primary threats include section. Which is interesting, because the further south watch there would be the area I would watch, for a more significant threat. I think they went too aggressive with the first watch in terms of the tornado threat. I really doubt we're going to see a tornado that far north. But it's possible, I guess. Again, I doubt we're going to see a tornado at all today at this point, guys. Yeah, 5 minutes ago, new severe thunderstorm watch. You can do April 4th, 2023. That day really wasn't that insane. It was significant. There was a high NDF3 in central Illinois. But outside of that, really nothing much happened. And by the way, we got another flash flood warning to talk about here in South Carolina this time. Again, any rain is going to cause flash flooding out here, pretty much. 11, so that's minor on the scale. Yeah, again, I mean, the one tornado near Lewistown was the only notable thing. The fact that it didn't go Tory is a little surprising. It's a little bit controversial at this day, because of all the photos and videos being sent in of it to the National Weather Service, I believe. So I have this severe thunderstorm warning in California. Again, you can't see the storm on radar because of the mountains out here, but April 19th through 20th, together record 22, which is interesting. In 2023? Really? There was an outbreak on April 19th, I believe, but it wasn't anything that significant, I didn't think. We had some tornadoes in the southern plains, I believe, on that day. So again, this is from Miles Weather. I don't think he'll care if I bring it up on the stream. We're kind of buddies. But this is the National Hurricane Center's outlook here now for AL98. So 80% chance of development in the next 48 hours and a 90% chance of development within the next 7 days. And we're expecting this to impact the Antilles, the Greater Antilles, as well as Bermuda, and maybe Atlantic Canada as well. So there you go. That was the Cole EF3 in Texas. Can we talk about how the rolling fork was deemed as a tornado emergency? It was an EF4. That was a high-end EF4. I don't know if you're talking about the rolling fork one from 1992 or whatever, but the 2023 one definitely deserved a tornado emergency. That was a high-end EF4. It killed, it killed more people than Mayfield. Oh, Oklahoma. I'm stupid. My bad. If you had said Cole, Oklahoma, I would have known what you were talking about, but okay, we're just gonna ignore that. 64-mile-an-hour wind gusts now near Folsom, South Dakota. Roman was saying all this crap about me. He was like, he thought that I said, okay, by the way, the storm's back upgraded to considerable now, golf ball sized hail. He claims that I said that I called Xenia an EF3 or something, or an F3, which never happened. That never happened. How quickly it went to E after touchdown. It did deserve it, though, if you look at the radar. No, but I seriously never called it an F3 or whatever he said I called it. I showed him a picture of Joplin's radar imagery, and he said it was probably EF2. So, I don't know what he's talking about. And I got the Palm Sunday and the 1974 Super Outbreak mixed up one time. One time. And it was an accident. I knew what I was talking about. It was just a mess up. June 14th to 19th, 2023, recorded 34 on the OIS. I would go, if I were you, I would look at, yeah, I know it was. If I were you, I would look at the, what am I saying? Look from June 20, what was the day of the Tulsa derecho? Okay, look from June 18th. I don't know if you can, okay, what am I saying? Look from June 18th to June 29th. I don't know if you can do that many days, but significant stuff went down, and even beyond 29th, but Mayfield killed 58 people. I thought Sam said once that Rolling Fork killed more people than Mayfield. Was he mistaken? Hey, look at that. 3,000% of Miami-Dade counties without power. That has been so glitched recently. It says they're only tracking 6 customers in Miami-Dade County for some reason. Yesterday it said like 13,000 or something. June 15th alone recorded 17. Alrighty. I think that we should probably kind of wrap things up here. Because, again, storms are just not firing like they were supposed to. So I think we're going to wrap things up. If you guys did enjoy, please be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you all for tuning in. And I will see you all in